Good morning, everyone. My name is Rosa Conrad, and I want to thank you for taking time this morning to listen to a proposal of offering a unit of instructions on how to make buttons for Outreach's Go team members, as well as Outreach student assistants and other staff and student assistants who work in the library who would like to support outreach events. Library outreach has continued to grow, and we have increased our partnerships with other campus departments. We have also increased our tabling presence during summer orientations over the last 2 years and have attended between 12 to 16 summer orientations. During our tabling events and summer orientations, the button making activity draws students to the library's table. Staff and student assistants are given the opportunity to connect with students as well as to inform them of library services. Each button takes a few minutes to make, which allows us to inform them of reference services available to them, the library's hours, the campus common read, study rooms that they can reserve, computers available at the library, and our current exhibit. Making buttons and instructing students while informing them of library services takes practice, and instruction is needed for staff and student assistants to execute this properly. Since this activity is very popular, the outreach team needs all Go team members and student assistants who work with outreach to be properly trained for tabling events. This unit of instruction will teach staff and student assistants how to make buttons for outreach tabling events. The instruction will outline the steps needed to make buttons, and learners will be able to give instructions to other students and people at outreach tabling events. During instruction, Go team members, student assistants, and staff will learn how to safely use the paper cutter and die cutters and scissors, safely use scissors to trim excess strips of paper, be able to read the manual and follow each diagram to each step of making buttons, identify the button maker, die cutter, and the different parts of a button, and also safely use the button maker. They will also be able to demonstrate at the end of the instruction the process of making a button, be able to explain to others the steps to making a button, and be able to instruct students through each of the steps as I assist them in making a button at outreach tabling events. After the instruction, learners will also be able to use these skills learned by being familiar with the different tools such as the paper cutter, die cutters, and button makers. They will also be able to demonstrate applied skills learned in showing instruction to others. Learners will feel more motivated and confident as they demonstrate these acquired skills. They will all be able to give demonstrations on making buttons and give step-by-step instruction at the outreach tabling events. After completing this lesson, learners will be confident in instructing others and feel invested in the library's outreach tabling events and goals. This is just an example of one of our tabling events that we do. In these images, we see that we are promoting the Common Read, the Book of Joy at a tabling event. We usually have a table and we display the book, some handouts, and then also we have the button maker and the different components that will be needed in order to make buttons. In the last image, you see me instructing a student how to properly align the design so when the button is completed, they'll be able to put it on their backpack or shirt with the image correctly placed. Sometimes we don't have the time to be able to instruct students at our tabling events, so we pre-make some of the buttons ahead of time. In this image here, you see that we have created ahead of time button designs for the book Educated by Tara Westover. Learning how to properly make buttons while at tabling events is important, but we also need them to know how to make buttons so that when we make them ahead of time, we can correctly make them and have them ready for our tabling events. Since most of our staff and Go Team members and student assistants can't attend each of our tabling events, I will also be creating a video demonstrating how to make a buttons so that before they attend another outreach event, if they had not done that continuously, they can refresh and follow the instructions and be reminded on how to properly instruct students how to make a button. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my proposal, and please let me know if you have any questions.